Hello again, everyone. It's great to be with you. Our gospel today is from the third chapter of Matthew. Jesus came from Galilee to John at the Jordan to be baptized by him. John would have prevented him, saying, "I need to be baptized by you, and do you come to me?" But Jesus answered him, "Let it be so now, for it is proper for us in this way to fulfill all righteousness." Then he consented. And when Jesus had been baptized, just as he was coming up from the water, suddenly the heavens were opened to him, and he saw God's Spirit descending like a dove and alighting on him. And a voice from the heavens said, "This is my Son, the beloved, with whom I am well pleased." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. Have you ever had a day when life caught you off guard and took you completely by surprise? Has life ever given you something unexpected, something you could never have planned for or seen coming? Have you ever felt like more was being asked of you than you had to give? Like maybe you weren't enough? Have you ever had a situation you wanted to say no to, something you didn't want to do or have to deal with? I'm sure we all have had those kind of stories. There's not one of us who can say that they've escaped that. I think that's exactly where John the Baptist is in today's gospel. Jesus has come from Galilee to John at the Jordan to be baptized by him. It's something John never expected or foresaw. He didn't plan on this. "I need to be baptized by you," he says to Jesus, "and yet you come to me?" Baptizing Jesus does not fit John's expectations of who Jesus is and what he will do. Remember the gospel from a couple of weeks ago about the axe, the winnowing fork, and the unquenchable fire? The order and structure of John's world are being turned upside down. Jesus is the more powerful one, and John is not worthy to carry his sandals. Jesus is supposed to increase, and John decrease. Everything about this moment is contrary to what John believes, wants, and expects. And I'm pretty sure we've all been there. We know what that's like. But what do we do when that's happening to you? When your prayers aren't answered, the budget doesn't work out, expectations are not met. What do you do when your plan doesn't come together, a relationship ends, or life is interrupted? What do you do when it's a hard day and you just want to say no and run away? Today's gospel sets before us two choices. We can either resist, forbid, and try to prevent what is coming to us, which is what John wants to do, or we can permit it and let it be, which is what Jesus tells John to do. "Let it be so now," Jesus says to John. Then he consented. What if that's to be our way too? What if Jesus is saying to us, "Let it be so now"? What if we too are being asked to consent? The consent to which Jesus calls us isn't simply about giving up, acquiescing, approving, or agreeing. It's about a way of life. It's about Jesus' way of life. It doesn't mean we have to like or want what is happening. It does, however, mean that we have to face it and deal with it. Consent means we show up to our life to be present to whatever is before us and whatever is coming to us, even if it is difficult, painful, or the last thing we want. Consent isn't about being in control or having all the answers. It means we don't turn back or run away from what is in front of us. We don't have to do everything that is set before us, but neither can we resist doing what is ours to do. Consent doesn't mean passively accepting whatever happens. It means actively giving ourselves to the circumstances, relationship, and people before us, It's an act of risk and vulnerability. And even more importantly, it's a profession of faith, hope, and love. It means staying open and remaining receptive to whatever in that moment is being asked of us in the name of God. That's how Jesus lived his life. His life was a continual yes to the world, to you, and to me. He lived a life of consent. He consented to bringing good news to the poor, welcoming the outsider and the foreigner, providing hospitality for the hungry and the thirsty, forgiving the woman caught in adultery, raising Lazarus to new life. He consented to intimacy when Mary anointed and kissed his feet, to compassion and healing for the blind, the deaf, and the lame, abundance when the wine ran out, to being a servant and washing dirty feet. He consented to peace and nonviolence in a world of swords, to speaking the truth to the powerful. He consented to struggling with God and himself in the Garden of Gethsemane, to courage and perseverance as he took up and carried his cross, to humility when soldiers mocked and beat him, and to life in the face of death. Jesus never turned away, backed down, or withheld his consent. He was present and showed up to whoever or whatever was before him. Every time Jesus consented, he stepped into the river of humanity and immersed himself in the waters of your life and mine. Consent is an act of solidarity, a standing with one another. Jesus asked John to stand with him. Jesus stands with us, and he asks us to stand with him in the river of humanity. It may not come easy, but that's how I want to live. I want to be a continual yes to the world and to others. I want to live a life of consent. I want to look back on my life and say, I just dealt with it. What would that look like for you today? What would it mean for you to give consent to the people and circumstances before you? It might be in your marriage or parenting, at work, caring for another, speaking out and acting for justice, being present to another, working on your recovery, healing a relationship, or setting out in a totally new direction. Maybe you're being asked to consent to love, forgiveness, peace, compassion, welcome, courage, hope, beauty. The opportunities for consent come to us every day. What is being asked of you today? Every time we consent, we wade into the deep waters of life. We stand with Jesus in the river of humanity, and together we fulfill all righteousness. Nothing gets left undone, and no one gets left behind. Let it be. Let it be so now. And all God's people say, Amen. Just a reminder, there will not be a sermon on the Facebook next week as I will be out of town, but know that I'm thinking of you and we will be together the following week. Have a wonderful, blessed week, and I'll see you in 2. Take care.